Hello and welcome to Indulge. Today we have a very special guest joining us, the legendary WWE Superstar Rey Mysterio. Hi Ray, welcome to Indulge.
Thank you very much. Very happy to be here with you.
Very happy to have you with us too.
Thank
So Ray, without wasting any time, I'm just going to start with my questions. So you've been the longest to last in the Royal Rumble history. So what is it like to be, such, to be able to sustain your journey and be so competitive even to this day?
During that time, it was very exhausting. Over an hour being in the ring with 29 other opponents. But at the end of that match, it was the best feeling in the world because I knew something bigger was coming. I knew there was an opportunity for a world title, and I was doing it for one of my biggest friends, Eddie Guerrero. So um, if I go back and try and remember those days, I would do it all over again.
What has your, approach been, your strategy been so far? Because things have changed a lot has evolved in WWE too. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think I'm more focused right now on trying to um, trying to teach my son the fundamentals of how to react, how to do certain things in the ring. For me, it's always been a learning process. Even now, as I'm teaching my son, it's a learning process for me as a father, um, being a mentor to Dominic. So it's been a very interesting journey. I've been enjoying it very, very much. Like you said, WWE has changed very much. The size of most of the talent, the aerial maneuvers of the talent, the style of wrestling itself has evolved. And I think I'm one of those to blame. I'm one of the pioneers that evolved the sport of wrestling. And now these are the consequences. So now I have to make sure that my son is adapted and does an incredible job out there.
Definitely, I totally agree with you because your style and your approach to, the different moves, especially in the ring, I think that's what makes you who you are. Just talking a little bit more about that. Tell me about, your signature moves, especially the finisher 619 move, because here I think it's very popular in India, and
Yes,
the Frankenstein inverted move. Is that correct? I mean, that's what it's called.
yeah, the Frankensteiner, yes. So
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
changed the name of the Frankensteiner to the West Coast Pop, meaning where I'm from, where I was raised in San Diego, California. It is the West Coast. So that's why I decided to name it the West Coast Pop. The 619 is named after the area code of San Diego, California, where I was raised. And so those two kind of went along with each other. The 619 has been a move that I've been doing since I was a kid. I would see my favorite wrestlers do that move in their way. And what I just did is I took that move and I added my version to it, which was connecting with my feet and hitting my opponent. But I used to watch wrestlers like Tiger Mask from Japan do that move. It was just a kind of like a swing around the ropes. One of my favorite wrestlers growing up as a kid from Mexico City, Super Astro. So to be able to take a move and then turn it into something special, honoring that move and those wrestlers has been awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. I was actually going to ask you, tell me about your influences, but I think you answered my question even before I asked.
Yeah.
So, a little bit more about, your fights with the likes of Triple H and the Undertaker. I think these are always mentioned,
Mhm.
especially in, when somebody asks you any question. So, what anecdotes do you have from it? Any memories that, you will always cherish?
Well, stepping in the ring, like for example, being in the Royal Rumble, um, and starting off with Triple H, and then finishing up with Triple H and Randy Orton. Um, when I go back and reflect on that, I was very, very lucky, very honored to be in the ring with those two men, um, with the history that they've built amongst with their hard work, to be able to share that spotlight with them, and not only share it, but at the end of the day, be victorious, was incredible. So I tip my mask off to them for teaching me as we went along without them even knowing it. I was learning because I was learning their strategies. I was trying to figure them out. So all of that is a learning process, and at the same time, I'm overwhelmed of joy because I'm in the ring with these guys. With the Undertaker, the same. I was able to enjoy the Undertaker's entrance as he walked down the ring, and I was just thinking, wow, I was a little kid when I was watching him. So obviously, the lights turn on, the bell rings, and now I turn into Rey Mysterio, and now I have to fight this man. So they have been experiences that I have cherished, and that I truly feel honored to be able to step in the ring with these men.
Hmm. Talking about, you as a child being influenced by such legends, you also introduced Dominic to the ring at a very early age. So what
Yes.
was that always the plan, and how did he react as a, like as a kid? Not
So
what we
yeah.
saw,
So yeah. So he was he grew up around this sport, and he knew that it was always here because I've been doing it for so long. My daughter as well. She knew that wrestling was always going to be there, and she grew up around it. When Dominic decided to start training, he was a bit older, 19 years old. Um, when I started training at the age of 8, so a big difference. But at the end of the day, I think he really found out that this was his destiny, to be part of what his dad was, and I was able to witness it at firsthand when he said, "Dad, can you train me to see if I can make it in this business?" And when he stepped in the ring for the first time, and I saw what he was doing and how fast he was learning, I knew that there was something special.
How has your relationship with him evolved? Are you more of a friend to him now? Is it more of a mentor, or is it a competitor? How would you describe it?
I think we've always been friends. We've always been able to communicate, and like anything else, we tend to disagree in certain things, but overall, we tend to sit down and discuss situations. And I think um, I can be many things to him: his father, first and foremost, his friend, mentor, trainer, you know. But I think to be able to play the role of a father first is very important. And then to know that after his father, he has all these layers that he can always come up to me and say, friend or a coach, can you help me with this? And I'll always be there.
Okay, but what about, like you said, that, if your paths cross in Royal Rumble 2021, then it's going to be something different. What about that?
Well, I've taught him about that, and I said eventually there might be a time where we might have to face each other, and if that's the case, you are gonna have to do everything that you can to try and pin me, do what you have to do to win. I said, and that's not only with me, with everyone, you know. But at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself and look out for yourself. So I don't know if experience over what he knows might be his weakness. So like I said in an interview, I believe it was last week, if we happen to cross paths and I need to throw him out, I'm gonna throw him out. There's just no way I'm not gonna let him shine, because that's just giving him a victory. So he has to earn it. He has to work for it.
That's nice. That's like you're really like putting him in the spot, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. You know, tell us about Superstar Spectacle, the match with the Indian WWE superstars. Uh, what has that experience been like, and and who are your favorite Indian WWE superstars?
Well, we were talking about this not too long ago, a couple days ago, and the very first guy I ever faced in in uh, in incredible size was the Great Khali, and one of the scariest guys that I've ever been in the ring with. Very intimidating, very big, not just in height, but big in all features. His arms, his body, his torso, his hands, his face. He just looks like a true giant. And it's just incredible how how this character just evolved and became bigger than life, and his country loved him for what he did. And I got to see that firsthand when he was back in India, and how they loved the Great Khali because of who he was. Don't matter if he was a bad guy or a good guy, they loved him. And we had the opportunity this past week. So
Yeah.
yeah, Ricochet and myself had the chance to step in the ring with two big men from India that have impressed me tremendously. You know, I'm not gonna say what happens throughout the match, but it was a it was a good confrontation that we had.
What is your message to your rivals? What would you like to, you know, tell them?
I am probably the most calm, relaxed guy outside of the ring, with the mask and without the mask, because at home my family says the same thing. Like, we can never get you mad. So but I think people like me are the worst, because they can hide the emotions and go out to the ring and destroy their opponents. So that's been my strategy always. I've always been very calm and composed, but when it's time to go and that bell rings, it's time to go.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking with us. That was Rey Mysterio speaking exclusively to Indulge. Thank you,
Thank
Ray.
you. Thank you.